If anyone introduces me to someone and I end up getting married to them, on the day of our wedding, I'll pay you $30,000.
It's just nuts.
I want to clap too.
Yay! Good job.
I know it's unnecessary, but...
So, dear people, we went on I want to say 3 dates, maybe?
Like 2, I think, yeah.
2? You know the number. Okay. I remember a really bad movie. It was
I remember
about
pizza.
Poker or something.
I remember pizza.
I don't remember any pizza. I remember a terrible film.
So I remember it was middle school.
Obviously,
right?
it was middle school. We were 14.
Yeah. I remember my mom giving me $40 because on this date I was like, okay, I'm supposed to take her out for food and I'm supposed to pay, but I don't have any money.
Funny.
So I had I remember having 2 20s. I was like, okay, this is $40. This will cover the meal, and it did cover the meal. But it was just. Yeah, it was funny, and it was.
That's pretty funny. Was that your first date also, or had you been on dates before?
No, that was definitely my first date.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember it being awkward. I think I was not prepared to be pretending I'm this put together person across the table from you.
I remember there was a big scandal at a fun fair or amusement park situation, and you were like, "Let's go on a ride alone."
What?
We were holding hands. We were do, and then I don't remember who, but a teacher was like, "No, go back."
Wow.
And I remember I was mortified. I was like, "Oh God, what a big moment in my life."
Yeah.
So I have not forgotten the text of how we got together. You texted me. You said. I finally got over Jenna, all caps.
All caps?
All caps. No, the Jenna was all caps, which is hilarious. It was, not even hey, how's it going? Nothing. Just hey, I finally got over Jenna.
Yeah.
So I think we should go out, but if you mean to say yes, keep it low because of Steve.
What? Wait, I don't even remember Steve.
Do you remember? Oh. Sorry, we should not say that. I'm going to retake that. Yeah. We shouldn't say a full name.
Yeah.
I'm going to retake. He was very committed. He was really following me around.
I don't even remember that Steve liked you. Okay.
It was very dramatic. Yeah, it was very dramatic.
Middle school was a crazy drug.
It is a crazy drug.
Yeah,
absolutely. Did we do junior prom together?
I don't think so.
Maybe we broke up before junior prom, but there was some sort of dance where you got me a necklace. Do you remember this?
No.
Okay. So you got me a necklace. It was in a paper box, and on top of the box there was this really shiny silver like a ribbon, but just a poof, you know. And you were standing there going like this the whole time, just poofing it, I guess. Yeah. And
before
Amanda,
I gave it to you?
Yeah. And Amanda came up to you and she was like, Ratan, what are you doing? And you were like, I'm keeping it poofy for Hanna.
Wait, that's totally fair. Why would I want it unpoofed when I gave it to you?
I just think that's the funniest thing ever.
Oh my God, that's really sweet of you.
She told me later, it was very sweet. See, you are a sweet kid, absolutely.
I'm keeping it poofy.
The reason.
Yes.
I asked to meet with you is because you had a wife search, and I would love for you to tell us about that.
Yeah. So I think the wife search name made it sound more intense than it actually was. It's more of a wife accelerator, you could say. It's basically I was like, well, this exists for other things. This exists for the FBI most wanted list. This exists for bugs in software. If you could find security vulnerabilities. I put it on my Instagram. I said, if anyone introduces me to someone and I end up getting married to them, on the day of our wedding, I'll pay you $30,000. I didn't expect to get any response from it really, but a lot of people, it was probably my most watched Instagram story ever. I got a lot of messages saying oh, this is so cool. And I'm sure there were a lot of people that thought it was really weird too. They just didn't message me.
Yeah.
But I think that was a really positive sign for the concept. I imagine that it's what the prospect of meeting someone on the internet was over a decade ago, which is many people saw a stigma to it and thought it was weird. But now it's the norm. I should have probably made my Instagram better before I posted it because I don't think I had good photos on there. So nothing really like converted. And I'm not really good at curating like a digital look. I'm much more of like an in-person type person.
We can help with that.
Yeah.
Did any women like recommend themselves? Like
yes, actually.
I knew that would happen. Yeah. That's great. How did you deal with that?
So I wasn't interested in any of the ones that recommended themselves.
That tends to happen.
But what's interesting is that they all did it as kind of like as if they were joking, like with the plausible deniability, right? Which is I get because it's like, rejection's scary and stuff. But that's just one thing I noticed. I was they're like joking about it, like pushing me on it. But I could feel that they actually did want to go on a date or something.
Oh my God. And you had just to be like, no, thank you. Like, I'm not going to pay you.
Well, I think this is the wisdom of kind of framing it in this like joking way is that there's a plausible deniability between both of us that like, oh yeah, that was always a joke. That was never serious. And I think a lot of good romantic overtures have that property so that people can save face.
That's a great sentence. A lot of romantic overtures have that property so people can save face.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a really, really powerful sentence. I feel like, rejection is really scary. And it's interesting that this wife search sort of brings up those feelings immediately. It's interesting just doing this show, how much of talking about love is also talking about rejection.
Yeah.
Don't you think that's interesting?
Yeah. No, totally.
Yeah.
Like, it gets at things that we're really bad at thinking about and making decisions around. Like, because we all know that the sting of rejection is only temporary, but, if you find someone great, then that could be, a whole lifetime of love. But in the moment, people over and over choose the path of less rejection. There have been times in my life where I didn't have a strong social circle, and so I didn't have any events to look forward to that I could meet women that I was excited about at, or I felt very unconfident, so I felt that even if I had that opportunity, I would blow it. And so like right now, I feel like, to be clear, I don't want to be married right now. But what I want to do
you want to meet someone that you can eventually maybe marry, if I'm understanding.
Yeah, and even that might be too strong. It's like all I wanted to do was basically create an incentive to increase the probability that it happens sooner rather than later. But whether that sooner means in 4 years versus 6 years or in 2 years versus 3 years, that's not really in my control. So what about, you were going to tell me about what happened with the proposal.
Yes. Okay. And I had a really serious boyfriend when I was like 17. And I thought it was really big love, and he was honestly pretty great. He's actually still a really great person.
Is he the one that you...
He's the one before. I'm getting there. Okay. He was so nice. He was so great. We had a great relationship, and then I just met this guy in it was like an improv acting class.
Yeah.
And he just sort of really whisked me away. He was like 4 years older, which is a big deal when you're 17.
Yeah.
And I was really in love with my boyfriend, but I just was so enamored with this like older guy, into me, who was in college. He was doing architecture and that I just left my super nice boyfriend for this guy, like overnight.
Yeah.
And he proposed to me like a year and a half in when I was like 18, 19.
Yeah.
What the flip? Like, that's insane. I'm trying not to curse because YouTube, but what? Like, it's just nuts. Yeah. And then it took me a really long time to realize that he was a really toxic person, and I have to tell her this, but Avani actually saved my life, honestly.
Wow.
I was on Skype with her, and I was just describing my relationship, and I was describing like our sex life. I was describing how he controls what I wear and what I eat, and she was like, wait a minute, what do you mean? What's going on? Tell me more.
Yeah.
Do you say no? Does this still go on? If you say no, can you say no?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, you don't understand. Like, he loves me. Like, it's not what it sounds like. And she was like, I think it is what it sounds like. And after that conversation, it took a few more months, I'll admit. It's never like overnight.
Yeah.
But it was that conversation that honestly saved my life. I'm so happy that I got out of that relationship. And every time that I thought about leaving, I thought about Avani's voice and that one conversation. And we weren't close then. We're still not close now. Yeah. But we had that one, like, let's catch up. Skype.
Yeah.
And it really saved my life. I think I could have been in a really horrible position now if I would have stayed with that guy.
Yeah.
But I was here and I was engaged. It's insane to say, but that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that like something clicked for me because of Avani, and that I was able to get out of that. But also I think it is easier when you get older. Like, I just feel like I know more what I want.
Yeah.
Like, I can pick up the signs if someone's being toxic or disrespectful. I don't take as much. I have much better boundaries. Like,
yeah, I think it has been getting easier in almost every respect.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's like, right now I also feel like it's getting a lot easier for the same reasons you said, is that it's the first time that I'm really comfortable with saying no to things, showing people like that you have a strong identity, and so they have something to be attracted to. Because there's definitely been points in the past I wasn't sure what I valued, who I was, and because of that, like the responses that I got were also muted, because it's like, okay, this guy's kind of like a chameleon, you know, like what is he like? I don't get it, you know. It's not like, but now it's like, okay, I care about these things, and so those kinds of people will be very drawn to me, and then these other kinds of people will be very not drawn to me. Yeah.
Do you remember anything about our breakup?
I think the whole thing was me trying way too hard.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
And like, even, like the dinner date kind of, like, I actually only put it together now, but like that, or not dinner date, the pizza, like some of these gifts and stuff like that, I was just like, this is what I'm supposed to do? And like, I'm doing these things. Yeah, I like the idea of it, or I was like LARPing as, you know, someone who could date. Or,
LARPing.
Yeah, you know the term, right? LARP,
yeah, of course.
Yeah, I was just like LARPing as someone who had a girlfriend or something like that. And
yeah.
we should just remain friends. Like,
is there anything else you want to say?
No, not really. Yeah.
Okay, then we're good.
Yeah. Yay.
Yay. Do you want an end clap just to be safe?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Do you want to do it?
Yeah.
Thank you. This was so fun, and now we like super have to run.